My wife just left to make her annual pilgrimage to the Christmas in July sales. That got me to thinking about Christmas lights. No, it's too early to decorate. I mean, I wonder what kind of portraits and beauty shots I could do with some cheap Christmas lights. Stay tuned and I'll show you what I came up with after I get them untangled. Hey gang, my name is Joe Edelman, and my mission to help photographers like you to develop a solid understanding of the hows and whys behind great photography so that you can achieve your goals as a photographer. You know, when it comes to lighting portraits and modeling shots, I love my PhotoFlex modifiers and my LumaPro speedlights and my Pulsey Buff Digibys. And you also know that I love a great DIY piece of gear if it's going to save me money and not slow me down. So indeed, when my wife mentioned Christmas in July, the light bulb went on and I decided to go and pull out the Christmas lights and see what I could come up with using some low-tech Christmas lighting. I came up with 4 different sets of LED lights that I had stored away for the holidays. I had these simple mini white tree lights, these colored mini tree lights, and these colored LEDs in plastic casings that are designed to look like the old school Christmas tree bulbs. I also had this white flexible LED strip that my wife and I bought at a Walmart a while back and never made use of. I put links to all of them in the description below the video. Now comes the problem-solving phase. With a lovely Monet in my studio, I began to look for ways that I could be creative with these lights. My first solution was to use the mini white LEDs as the main light source, so I hung them from a mini boom arm in front of Monet, creating a kind of ring light effect. I set up a background stand between Monet and the background and draped the larger LED lights from the stand. I went with a purple background and an 85mm lens on my Nikon D810. Now some of you are going to ask why I didn't use my go-to portrait lens, the 100mm Tokina. I went with the shorter lens because I knew I was going to have to play with the lights, and I wanted to be able to reach them without walking away from the camera. I also used a tripod for the shot, in part because of the low light levels, but also because I knew that I would have to adjust the lights and test frequently. The first setup was shot at ISO 400, which is not a big deal with most of today's cameras, and certainly not my D810. And the tripod allowed me to go with a slower shutter speed of 1/20th of a second and an aperture of f2.0. Next, I added a simple desk clamp lamp to the background stand to use it as a hair light. The lamp has a typical 25-watt equivalent bulb, and you can see it adds a little highlight to the shoulders. Then I took the desk lamp and placed it on camera right, above Monet, and adjusted the camera position to include a few of the white LEDs in the foreground. Since the desk lamp is more of a direct light source, I decided that black and white would look more interesting, and I was able to shoot this one at 1/50th of a second at f2.8, still on a tripod and still at ISO 400. Remember, I like to work my shot, so I kept exploring possibilities, and in this shot, I pushed the hair back behind Monet's shoulders and wrapped the LED flex light around her neck. Next, I added the small color LEDs in the background and used the white LED flex light as my main light source on camera right. I went back to shooting in color and also switched to an orange background just to mix things up. Now, just to make things a little more challenging, I decided to keep the flex light wrapped around her neck, but I also used it as my main light source. You can see here how I have it clamped to a light stand in each of these variations. I have Monet turned slightly towards the flexible LED to give me a nice shaped key light on her face. Next, I placed the desk lamp back directly in front of her and above her head, aimed down. Normally, this would have created a very harsh shadow under her chin, but the LED light softens them. For this shot, I switched to a black background behind the Christmas lights. My exposure now is still at ISO 400, but I'm at 1/30th of a second at f4. Then I did this version without the Christmas lights in the background, and then I added the orange background back to the shot and experimented some more for these last few shots. Still on a tripod, still at ISO 400. The moral here, experiment. Learn to see light. Remember that there are no rules. Auto exposure doesn't work in these situations. Work your shot and build your visual database. Let me know in the comments below which of these shots is your favorite and why. Oh, and before I forget, I know somebody will ask, the LED lights were not high CRI. They're cheap Christmas lights. I have no idea what the CRI was, and for shots like this, it simply doesn't matter. I did do a custom white balance for each of the shots. My preferred method is an expo disc, but you could achieve a great result using a simple gray card, and for that matter, auto white balance might have added some interesting color options. I hope you find this helpful. Please hit that thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss any videos. And until next time, go pick up that camera and shoot something, because your best shot, it's your next shot. So please keep learning, keep thinking, and keep shooting. Adios.